Oh,
Yeah. Just as ACT's deputy leader, the punishments handed down to the Te Pāti Māori leaders, has ACT's position changed at all on them?
no, it hasn't. But also, I think it's really important that we're taking this view as parliamentarians rather than as, a government position. The institution of Parliament should be respected, so all parliamentarians, no matter what background they have, feel like they have a voice and a right to their seat and a right to be heard and debate and even vote for the people that elected them to come into this chamber with respect. And that had not been followed, that did not happen. And so, I respect the fact that the members on the Privileges Committee probably have far more information than I do to come to the determination that they have, and so that's the position of the ACT Party.
What do you think the public thinks about that?
Oh, look, I think, to be honest, the public would like us to be talking about things that the public care about. Things about like the cost of living, the need for more health care, for better education for children, which is what the budget ultimately has been doing. We've been putting more money into those types of services. The more that we talk about ourselves as politicians, I think the less attractive democracy seems.
But do you think that level of punishment, do you think the public sees that as appropriate?
To be honest, I don't think the public really understand the ins and outs of really technical processes here within Parliament. It is quite, inside baseball. But I think what most New Zealanders would expect and what they deserve of all parliamentarians is that we come to this House with a level of respect for all of the people that voted for those politicians to represent their voice in the chamber. And when I go about my duties in Parliament, I try to treat everybody with respect and the respect that they deserve, because they're not here for themselves. They should be here for all the people that voted for them.
What's the party's position on the social media ban?
Look, we have supported a process through the Select Committee that I understand ACT MP Pāti Pāma is taking on behalf of ACT, that we actually need a lot of in-depth analysis as to what are all of the things that could happen before you even go to like a full ban for under 16s, or even if it's feasible. But there needs to be a lot of in-depth analysis cross-party, because we'd like something that's actually long-standing.
Will David Seymour be a good Deputy Prime Minister?
Oh, absolutely. He's already smashed it out of the park on day one. But, I'm actually really looking forward to his Oxford debate on Friday. But look, we've got about, 16 months more of government to go. And, he's been a great leader of ACT. And he's also been the acting Prime Minister on many occasions. And look, the sky didn't fall down, did it?
Well, will he be better than Winston Peters?
Oh, well, I'm going to be slightly biased here. But yeah, I've worked with David for coming up close to a decade now, which, is making me feel old. But I do trust him, I respect him. I think he ultimately is a good, honest man, and he has very clear morals. And I think he brings that to the chamber, and will bring that to the role.
Minister, so our whānau, particularly in Te Tairāwhiti in forestry, they've been lobbying successive governments around the compliances of those organisations running forestry businesses, because we've got a high incidence of death. There doesn't seem to be any real progressive change in terms of those getting those organisations to meet their compliances. Yesterday in the House you had said it might be there are too many compliances. Our whānau would say that they're not meeting the compliances that are actually there. What's your response to them?
Oh, well, look, firstly, I'd just love to give people a bit of assurance that I have genuine concerns about the rate of death, especially in the forestry sector. It is too high. When I was doing the roadshow last year, we did go specifically out to meet with people involved in the forestry sector, and I went on the ground to a forestry company and organisation just to see how dangerous it is. I can absolutely see how people die out there. It is a very, very dangerous piece of work. I've also been meeting with people who want to have assurance that contractors and the forestry companies want to work together to reduce those deaths. I've had that assurance, and I know that WorkSafe and myself are on board with having an approved code of practice that has worker input and forestry input, so we can see a reduction of death and serious injury. So it is something that we are working towards.
Have you met with those whānau, particularly specifically those that have lost whānau members in forestry?
No, but I would welcome that if that's what would provide people comfort. But I have met with people who unfortunately have had workers who've even died on their own company's property, and I've seen how that has affected them and how they want to do the right thing. So I have assurance that across the board we should not be seeing deaths. You know, people are wanting to provide for their families when they're working in forestry, and I want them to return home safely.
What do you think about Trump's presidency so far?
Sorry?
What do you think about Trump's presidency so far?
Oh goodness, now we're really getting into the weeds, aren't we?